So, what if I told you that everything you think you know about money is about to change? I'm talking about the cash in your wallet, the numbers in your bank account, even the whole idea of a salary. What if it's all on the verge of becoming a historical artifact? Well, today we're diving into a wild prediction that says money as we know it could completely disappear within the next 25 years.
And this is the core idea right here. It frames money not as some permanent law of nature, but as a piece of technology. And like any technology, like any tool, from the abacus to the horse-drawn carriage, it can be replaced. Replaced by something faster, more efficient, and, as we're about to see, potentially a lot more controlling.
Okay, so this is the crucial shift we need to wrap our heads around. For centuries, wealth has been all about accumulation, how much capital, how much stuff you have. But this prediction argues that we're about to redefine wealth as access, what the system allows you to do. It sounds like a small change, but believe me, the difference is massive. So how in the world do we get from here to there? Well, this prediction breaks it down into three phases. And the first one, it's a period of absolute chaos for the financial system we know today. Think total surveillance and the collapse of the institutions we've trusted for generations. Just look at the speed of this predicted change. It's breathtaking. It all kicks off in just a couple of years with physical cash disappearing. Then, bam, government-backed digital currencies arrive, giving them a real-time look at every single thing we buy. Soon after that, your local bank branch is a relic, and your money is managed exclusively by an AI. And all of that leads up to the big one, the cognitive job crash. And this number, this really shows the human cost. 40%. That's how many white-collar jobs, we're talking both administrative and creative jobs, are predicted to be just gone, wiped out by AI. This isn't about robots on an assembly line. This is about algorithms doing the work of accountants, writers, and project managers. You can imagine the kind of economic panic that would trigger. But out of all that chaos comes the second phase. This is the part of the story where society is pretty much forced to create a totally new social contract. The old system is broken, so a new one, based on this idea of abundance and access, starts to take its place. This is the question, isn't it? I mean, really, if work as we know it is no longer how a huge chunk of the population earns a living, how does society even function? What on earth replaces a salary? And the answer, at least in this future, is universal basic income, or UBI. But check out how it's funded. It's not from income tax, because that's becoming irrelevant. It's funded by taxes on the very things that took the jobs in the first place, robots and massive quantum computers. Just like that, the fundamental link between work and survival is completely severed. So all of this builds into what this prediction calls the Great Reset. UBI is just the beginning. Your annual tax return? Gone. It's replaced by tiny, automatic, algorithmic taxes on every single transaction you make. And then comes the stunner. With their new digital powers, governments just click a button and delete trillions in student loans and national debt. The slate is wiped clean. And this brings us right back to that huge idea from the beginning. If everybody has a basic income and all the old debts are gone, well, then the whole concept of what it means to be rich has to change, right? It's not just a number in a bank account anymore. Instead, your wealth becomes your access level. So what does that mean? Basically, it's your permission slip for the best things society has to offer. And we're not just talking about luxury cars, we're talking about fundamental life-altering advantages. The best gene therapies to extend your life, AI implants to boost your intelligence, the right to live in a climate-safe city, or even just permission to get on a plane. Okay, this all leads to the final and honestly the most mind-bending phase of all, the monetary singularity. This is where the whole idea of money gets even more abstract. Our entire economic system gets rebuilt on the most fundamental currency in the entire universe, pure energy. Yeah, forget gold, forget the US dollar. The new global standard is the joule, a literal unit of energy. Your money is now a direct measure of your ability to command and allocate a specific slice of the planet's energy. I mean, you can't get more fundamental than that. It's the ultimate base layer of all value. And the consequences are just staggering to think about. A completely neutral AI manages the global economy, no political messing around. Material poverty, like starvation or homelessness, basically solved in developed nations. The very concept of a price for most things just vanishes. Stuff is just made and delivered when you need it. Money, as we know it, becomes a quaint relic, something kids learn about in history class, like bartering with seashells. Now, of course, it would be pretty naive to think this massive world-changing shift would look exactly the same everywhere. So the prediction accounts for this, suggesting that different parts of the world will take very different paths based on their unique culture, their politics, and their resources. And just look at how different these paths are. In Europe, your basic income is tied to a personal carbon wallet, basically controlling what you can buy based on its ethical and environmental impact. Meanwhile, North America is predicted to fall into a kind of techno-feudalism, where huge corporations run their own city-states before some kind of eventual reset. Over in Asia, money becomes fully programmable, meaning the state can literally make it expire to force you to spend it. And then, in a fascinating twist, Africa and South America are predicted to just leapfrog the old system entirely, creating brand new economies based on decentralized crypto and tokens backed by real-world resources like solar energy or lithium. So, after this absolutely wild 25-year tour of economic collapse and rebirth, we're left with the biggest question of all. After all of this, what does it even mean to be wealthy anymore? And this is the final thought I want to leave you with. A world with no poverty, where a perfectly rational AI manages the economy. On the surface, that sounds like a utopia. But in a system where your every move, every purchase, even your rate to travel is decided by an access level that you don't control, are you really free? Or is this just the most elegant, most efficient cage ever built?